Hi guys, I just wanted to do another update video, and I posted a video a few days ago. I don't even know when because when I tried to post it, the internet wasn't working, and so I kind of gave up. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh wow, like I just posted it and people are commenting. But the last video I posted, I mentioned that I was seeing two guys, and so I guess I'm just updating on what happened with that. So the last guy I mentioned that I said was really nice and sweet and like very affectionate. The thing is, because he's from a different culture and his family strongly believes in arranged marriage. And so when he told his parents and family about me, they did not like it. And they picked a girl out for him and they really want him to marry this girl. And their families met up and they showed pictures of her to him and just. And when I talked to him about it, he said that he doesn't want to rebel against his family and that like he'd try to convince them to let him be with me, but he won't rebel. And I just didn't feel comfortable. It's like having to prove myself so much to his family. Because it's like, well, first he told me the problem is because I'm white and I'm not in the same social class as him. And because of my family situation, his parents wouldn't like it. And I just feel it's too much pressure for me to be trying to become awesome so suddenly just so his parents would approve of me. And so I kind of decided to call it off since I just felt like it's pointless to drag it out knowing that like I'm just gonna end up or not gonna end up being together, and plus he's moving in 6 months. But so that happened, and with the other guy that I met up at his house to do movie night and stuff, it became really weird because like when we first started meeting up, he told me, he's like, we could date or we could be fuck buddies if you want. And I was like, no, I want to date someone. I don't want to just do that. And then I stayed at his house 3 times. And then he got busy with work and stuff, but he would randomly pop by my house and he'd like get a blowjob, and like he did that like 10 times where he just come to my house, get a blowjob, like 20 minutes he's in and out. And like he just randomly come by just for that. And I started feeling bad about it. And like he would say like, okay, just do it once this time and then next time I'll do stuff to you. But it never happened. And I just kept doing that one-sided giving for a long time. And then I was upset because later on, like, he kept, like, when he talks about me to people, he calls me his fuck buddy, and I told him I didn't want to be that. And it was okay. I told him I don't want to be just, I feel like I'm just pussy to him, and, like, that's all he sees me as. And he's like, no, I don't see you as just pussy. There's also a mouth, too. And I'm like, what the heck? And just, sorry if this triggers you. Like, it's like I'm trying to tell a story, but I don't know how to tell it without saying certain words. Like, so sorry if it triggers you, but like, I just got so fed up. Although I didn't call it off. Okay, so what happened? All this stuff's happening, and it's like these guys are not going so great. And so I was thinking, like every guy I've met online hasn't been good at all. So maybe it's like all the good guys are offline, and that's why, like, the good guys don't spend time online. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can meet anyone in real life. And so I kind of thought, well, there's this guy that I used to work with, And he was super friendly and nice. And I remember he invited me to his house once, but I couldn't for some reason. And that was like 4 years ago. And then like he quit his job and then got a new job. And I know where his new job is. And like, because he works at a bank. And so one day I went in and like, I went and did my stuff at the bank and he did it for me. Then I left and on the, like, I was halfway home and then I'm like, I always thought that guy was really nice and interesting. And I bet he'd be really fun to hang out with as a friend. Like, I wasn't interested in dating, but I just wanted to be friends. So I was like, okay, well, it was really empty in there when I went in, so maybe I'll just go in and ask him for his number and ask to hang out. And so I turn around and go back in there, and he's like, did you forget something? And I'm like, sort of. And then I asked him, like, if you're bored, do you want to hang out sometime? And then okay, I said the words, and then I totally froze up. And then it made me so nervous because he's like, why? It's like, I don't know. I didn't expect him to ask me why I want to hang out, and I didn't know what to say. So I just said, well, if I'm just always bored a lot, so if you want to do something, we should make a plan. So do you want my number so we can text each other? And so we exchanged numbers, but man, he was so nervous, like he was dropping stuff everywhere. And it was weird because he's always such a bubbly, loud person. So to see him look that way was interesting. And then, like, a few minutes later, we texted each other. But we just said, like, maybe we shouldn't text at work because I don't want to get in trouble. And, like, he said that he had some business meeting to go to after. And then he wouldn't answer me for a long, long time. And I felt bad. I'm like, okay, don't go nuts texting him. Because that's the thing, okay. I'm a person that texts a lot, and it's really, really hard for me to hold back because I have, like, so much to say, and I over text people a little bit. So, I'm trying really hard not to do that, but it's driving me crazy because he's, like, it's been 2 days and he hasn't messaged me back or anything. And then out of nowhere, I get a text from a random number, and here it's his girlfriend. Oh my God. Okay. I never realized how scary girlfriends could be. Oh my goodness. Like she was being polite, but it was like, it felt passive aggressive. And then she's like, just so you know, he's friendly to everyone, like anyone. So don't think you're special type thing. And then she said, and also he's really busy with his jobs, and then he spends time with me. So he's too busy. I was like, okay. And then he finally got back to me, and I told him, like, yeah, I was just texting as a friend. I wasn't trying to do anything weird. And he said he knows. But, like, I don't know. Although I was a little jealous because I'm like, wow, like, this guy, he would show his text to his girlfriend like that. And also just that he spends time with his girlfriend a lot. I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous. Like, I have 2 guys, and none of them spend time with me. And I'm, like, so jealous that this couple has a relationship like that. And he said he'll message me when he has time to hang out, but he hasn't messaged me at all. But, so then it was, like, another week later, and I was like, okay, since it's, like, I feel so cringy about what happened the last time I did that, like, okay, I need to make a good memory and do something so I don't feel traumatized, because I felt so, like, embarrassed and, like, stupid for, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I asked someone here they have a girlfriend, and oh my God. And so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna try again, and hopefully it's a better result so I can have, like, a better memory of me asking people out. And okay, so there's this guy that I worked with, like, when I was 19, I worked with this guy at a fast food place. And for some reason, I've always been attracted to him. Like, he is very super talkative and outgoing, and I was always attracted to that type of personality. And he was kind of my favorite person. Like, okay, to make work feel better, like, sometimes if there, depending who's there, I'll pick a person that I really like spending time with, and then that will help me get through my shift thinking, oh, yay, I get to spend time with this person. And he was kind of my person that I was always excited to see whenever I went to work. And I was always hoping that we'd work together. And then, like, I moved on with my job, and then 2 years later, I started my job as a janitor at some place, and then here he was working there, and so we worked together again. Like, I'm night shift, he's day shift, but sometimes we'd see each other, and I always was excited to talk to him, and like if we ever seen each other first, I thought it was so cute because I remember him, like, I was cleaning in one room, and he came down to do some inspection or something, or I forget what it was, and he like walked by where I was and just waved at me, like, and I got so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, because normally, like, people don't normally talk to me if they walk by, and so I felt really good for some reason. And I was always trying to find excuses to talk to him and stuff, just because I liked him so much. So I kind of thought, okay, why don't I? Hopefully, it's not weird and unprofessional to do this, but I'm gonna try to ask him to hang out and like get his number. And so because I was working at my shift, and I thought, okay, why don't I just leave a note on his cart, his janitor cart, and see. So I sat down and I spent like a half an hour trying to write a certain note. I wasn't sure what to say. I made like a whole bunch. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay, I'll just use this one and I'll throw the rest out. So I stuck the one note to his car, and then I threw it in the garbage in his thing. And then I went home, and like I just said, like, do you want to hang out sometime? Like, text me. And but I was like, oh, I can't wait. I want to talk now. I want to hang out now. And so I tried to find him on Facebook, and so I messaged him on Facebook, and then he replied right away. And okay, first of all, I looked on his Facebook, and I was like surprised how sweet and tender he sounds, like, just because he's like it was weird because he seems like such a serious person at work, and then when I read his Facebook, it was all like he was making all these comforting posts about like being there for people and stuff, and I was like, aw. And so I messaged him, and then he's like, is there anything you need? That's like the first thing he says, because he thought like it was work related that I'm texting him. I'm like, no, this is not related to work, but, and I asked him, are you single? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, are you asking me on a date? And the thing is, I was like, I didn't know what to say, because it's like I have two guys right now. I don't know how he'd react, and I don't know what to say or do. So I kind of jumped over it, and then later on again, he's like, if you are asking me on a date, then we can. And I still didn't say anything, and I'm like, I feel so bad, just because I should have thought things through. But so, and then that night we went and met for coffee. And I was so nervous. Oh my gosh. I could not breathe, and like my heart was pounding. And I was like, okay, I regret this. Never mind. Like, this, Kate, can we bail now? And but I went anyway. And as soon as I got there, I kind of calmed down. I'm like, okay, it feels like the same when we're at work. Like, it feels natural. So I'm like, okay, we're good. And just, he's so nice. Kate, he bought me coffee for me, and he asked me if I wanted any food, and I said I'm fine. So he bought himself some food, and then he went and sat down with me, and we started talking, and it was like such a fun conversation, and we talked for like 3 hours or more, like probably more even. And it was so cute because he like got some cookies and like donut and whatever, and he like cut everything in half and gave me half. And like, I don't know, just that gesture, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. And we talked so long until they kicked us out of the cafe we were at. And then we were like, oh, and then we were like, we still want to hang out together, so let's go find another place. But everything is closed. So I just said, well, I said my house, I don't think we can go to my house because he's allergic to cats. And then I kind of invited myself over to his house. So we went to his house and we talked some more. And, oh my gosh, he's like so sweet. Like, he's just such a nice person. And, like, I was surprised. Like, I was already attracted to him before at work. And getting to know him like that, like, out of work, I was like, wow, like, I'm so shocked by this. Like, he is such a nice, amazing person. And, so we ended up staying the night together. And it was so cute because, I don't know. And then we ended up deciding we're going to go out together, like, on dates. Like, we're going to actually be dating that first night. And so I have a boyfriend now, and that's like, I told my one guy I told the guys that I was with that I have a boyfriend, and they all kind of left, which is good because I didn't want to, like, I kind of just want one person. So I guess it makes it easier if they just say, okay, like the one guy, he said he doesn't like to be the second guy, he wants to be number one. And I'm like, dude, I'm like number 12 girl on your list. But so that was the end of those things. But like I still text those guys as friends and stuff. But yeah, so I'm dating this guy, and it's been like a week, and I've spent every night at his house, and it's like, it feels like we've known each other so long. I don't know, it's so weird because, I don't know, it just feels so natural. Like, we literally, the first few nights, none of us were working. We spent, like, almost 2 days just laying in bed talking and talking and talking. And it's really nice that we can do that. And even right now, I'm at his house right now. Like, it's, like, 8 in the morning. He left for work early. I don't work till 10. So, I'm just hanging out at his house, and then I'm going to go to work. And then he's been picking me up every day after work, and then we go spend time together. And he just wants to go on dates. And, like, that's the thing I really liked and, like, wanted. I wanted someone to spend time with me and go out of the house. And he actually is taking me out places, and it feels really good. And oh my god, he's so sweet. Like, hey, yesterday morning I bought these new earrings, and I opened the package, and then I dropped them down the sink. And I was like so sad. I'm like, I just bought those, and then now they're gone. And I told him that, and then he came to my house and took apart my sink and got my earrings back for me. And then even right after that, he made me dinner. And, like, actually, let me think. Yeah, he made me dinner, and he served it to me in bed. And I was like, wow, this is sweet. And just like he told me he really wants to learn my behavior and routine and stuff. And he's always asking questions, and, like, and he's remembering stuff. Like, I mentioned once I didn't like a certain type of food. And so now every time he's like if he's shopping, he's only buying stuff that he knows that I like. And it's really weird. Like, I feel like things are moving really fast, but I don't know. I kind of like it. We're just kind of going how we feel. And I guess what we feel is really going really fast, but and like I told my biological dad I'm dating. And the thing is, though, we have a little bit of an age gap, and I'm not sure how people are going to react, but I just feel so happy right now. I don't know. It just feels really good. No, okay, this whole thing is related to NoFap. Okay, so it's been 72 days since I've actually watched porn, and The thing is, okay, even though I've been dating and going on dates a lot and I have been sexual, I still end up jerking off for some reason. Like, and so I'm really trying hard just to do that with a person, like not jerk off by myself, basically. That's my goal. And so far, okay, and it's weird, okay, it's actually a struggle for me not to jerk off by myself. And it's weird, you think that, like, if you are getting sex, then you wouldn't, but I still am. So, but it's been a week, basically since I've started dating him, I've tried really hard not to do that. I just wait till he gets here. But, like, that's kind of my goal now, is just to do stuff with a partner, and that's it. And, yeah. And I don't know, I feel like my life's feeling really great right now. And just that he's about as clingy as I am, because I want to spend time 24/7, so does he. And even it feels like I live here because I've just been here this whole time. But I don't know. So that's what's happening, and I'm gonna try really hard just to do my goal of just being with a partner and not by myself. And keep up with the no porn thing, and yeah, and just trying to live better. I'm still making goals and stuff towards that. Anyway, this is a really long video. Like, I don't like making long videos because I feel like no one will watch them or listen to them. But I'll just try to end it here so it's not extremely long, even though this is pretty long. Okay, bye.